There we go. Perfect. All right. And so here's our agenda. Again, we're going to have some introductions of staff members that you're able to meet and talk to. We do have a few students that are going to come on around 2:30 to have a student panel to answer any questions. You can ask them questions as a student, so you're able to do that. We'll then kind of do a breakout sessions where you will kind of get together with 4 or 5 students total, and be able to really be able to talk to students that get to meet somebody. So that way you can go away from this session being like, hey, I at least met 3 or 4 people, which would be awesome. And so that's a chance for you to do that. Then we're going to do kind of a quick little 30-minute session on SMART goals, learning on how to create those goals so that you're ready, already having something to accomplish before classes even begin. So that way, and then also we can help you along those ways to help you reach those goals. As you can tell, those sessions will be recorded. The only sessions that won't be recorded is when you go into a breakout room, just for the nature of those sessions. So some of you may have come to some of our What is Trio 30. We do a kind of like a podcast talk. What is Trio? Trio, it's called Trio 30. And we had a What is Trio session. But just to give you a little background, you signed up for Trio, hopefully you know. But it is a program that is committed to supporting you all academically who are first generation, low income, or have a disability. The program has been going on since the 1960s to help students who have been denied access to post-secondary education. We continue to strive, and our goal is to get you to graduate, to stay here, and be able to get that experience that maybe in the past others may not have been able to get. And so that's kind of what Trio is all about. We are grant funded, so we did just receive funding from the government this past week. So we have jobs still, which some of us are happy about, and we're able to give you the resources that you need. And so I'm going to see. Oh, yeah, perfect. All right, so we're going to move on to do some introductions of our staff. And the first person I want to introduce is TJ McDowell. He's Assistant Vice Chancellor of Student Life and Leadership at the University of Nebraska. His responsibilities include leadership and oversight of ASUN, which is the student government here, civic engagement and service learning, fraternity and sorority life, our LGBTQA+ Resource Center, the Nebraska College Preparatory Academy. He oversees residence life, student involvement. He oversees Trio, and the Women's Center. So he does quite a bit on campus, and he knows quite a bit. Also, he's my boss's boss, so if that gives you a little bit easier terms there. But he's been a vice president for campus community at Nebraska Wesleyan before he came to UNL in August 2018. At Nebraska Wesleyan, TJ was responsible for diversity and inclusion initiatives and serves as a Title IX coordinator. But prior to working in higher education, he served as the executive director of the Lighthouse and Clyde Malone Community Centers and worked on an initiative to increase graduation rates in Lincoln Public Schools. He has a bachelor's degree in sociology from Nebraska Wesleyan and a master's degree in education from UNL. He was born and raised right here in Lincoln and graduated from Lincoln High with the class of 1990. So again, I want to introduce TJ McDowell. He's got a few things to say. So go ahead, take it away, TJ.
All right, thanks, Brian. Oh, I'm hearing some feedback. Is that me?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
Is it me? I don't. Okay.
Okay,
So
it's gone.
welcome to all the new Trio scholars. I wish we were in the same space together so I could see your faces all at once. But we're doing it via Zoom for safety precautions. But welcome to you. Congratulations on graduating from high school and attending college. We're so glad you're at UNL. I was nervous that this wasn't going to happen, but it's great to see students on campus, and so I'm super excited about that. And I acknowledge that you all are probably experiencing some emotion, some mixed feelings, some excitement, some anxiety about starting college, and then particularly starting college during the midst of a pandemic. And so those are natural feelings. Those are okay feelings. We're here to support you and encourage you and to help you get through the semester. But I really want to start out by giving a shout out to the Trio staff, to Joyce, our assistant director, to all the staff for the work that they've done to get ready for you to come to campus this year. But every student needs a team, needs a crew to be successful. And the TRIO staff, the student support services staff, they're part of your crew. They want to see you be successful. So whatever you need, if you need a word of encouragement, you need help with your writing a paper, or how to navigate a difficult science class, the staff is there for you. And so please take advantage of them. Please come to the space that we spent most of the summer renovating up on the second floor of Canfield. So please come check that out. You can't really appreciate how much better it looks if you hadn't been there before, but we're really excited about that. But the only thing I really want to say to you as you start your academic journey in college, and the most important question you can be asking yourself as you start this journey is, why am I here? Why am I here? Because I want to be honest with you, college is difficult. College is challenging. Over the 4 or 5 years you're going to be in college, life is also going to happen. There are going to be financial challenges. There are going to be family issues. There are going to be interpersonal conflicts. Right now, there's a global health pandemic. College is hard. And so it requires a sacrifice and a great deal of effort. And if you're not clear about your why for being in college, it can be really easy to give up. It can be really easy to throw in the towel. Not all your professors are going to be great. You're not going to get along with all your professors. All your reading assignments are not going to be engaging and relevant to you. And so you have to be really, really clear about your why. It has to be clear and compelling and personal to you. So if you haven't clarified that, I want you to think about your why. If you're here just because everybody from your high school class was going to college and that's why you went, you're going to need a stronger why. If you're here because your grandma and your mom and dad wanted you to go to college, you're going to need a stronger why. And so I want you to think about that. I have worked in my career with students who had a 34 on their ACT, but didn't have a clear and compelling why, and they struggled and didn't finish college. I've also worked with students who had a 15 on their ACT and thrived and were on the dean's list and graduated from college and went on to be successful. So it's your why is so important. It'll help you get through the tough times, and I can just guarantee there are going to be some tough times. Just have that mentality that it's going to be tough. So know your why. And then the only other tip that I'm going to give you that I'm going to ask you to think about is find an accountability partner. Identify an accountability partner who can encourage you, who can support you as you start to pursue your academic goals. We all need an accountability partner. Someone who, when we don't feel like going to class, says, "No, we got to go to class." Someone who, when you don't feel like studying, says, "No, we got to study." So you need an accountability partner as opposed to an accomplice. And an accomplice is someone, we often talk about it in a criminal situation where somebody does something bad, and then there is the accomplice is the person who was with them when they did that bad thing. So when I was in college, I had both an accountability partner and an accomplice. My accountability partner was a guy named Antoine. He was my roommate. I'd known him since the 4th grade. We came into college with the goal of making the dean's list. We both missed it our first semester, but we made it most of the rest of the semesters. But we encouraged each other to strive for excellence in academics. I also had an accomplice, and Ron was my accomplice. He changed his major 7 times in undergrad. And it did not matter when I asked him, Ron was always down to play video games. If it was 2 in the morning, Ron was like, "Yes, let's play." If it was 2 in the afternoon, we're supposed to be in class, he was like, "Let's do it." So what you need in your life is an accountability partner, not an accomplice. And then you need this crew, and the student support services staff is part of your crew. They're going to be there for you to support you. We want you to be successful. If you ever need anything from me, please don't hesitate to stop by my office. I'm in Canfield 106. If you need something, email me. I want to see you be successful. I want to see you thrive. And we all want to see you graduate in 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. It doesn't matter. We just want to see you graduate in the next 4 to 6 years. And so have a great year. We're so glad you're here. And I'm gonna turn it over to the really outstanding Trio Scholars staff for the rest of this orientation. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much, TJ. I really appreciate that. And I definitely think I was an accomplice to a lot of people in my college days. So I wish you would have told me that a long time ago. So, but thank you. So moving forward, just want to talk a little bit about our office and where we're located. So we are in Canfield, 220. Like TJ mentioned, our office is being renovated fully. It's really nice. They got carpet. I wasn't here when it was before, but it looks very nice now. And we're looking forward to having you come and see us and visit us on the office. We have some study tables. We have some different services I'll get to in a minute. And so it's a great new space. I'm looking forward to seeing you up there. Some of you also might know in our office, you might have been part of regular Upward Bound Math and Science, or Educational Talent Search. These offices are all together as we're part of the Student Support Services. And again, we're in Canfield. It's right next to the Union. So when you're on campus and you're at Union, I just had my subway there at the Union. So if you're ever there to get some lunch, you can stop right over. It's right next to the Union. So it's easy to find the Canfield. You might need to follow the signs once you get in here. The building is kind of a maze, but we have some great signage to get you through here to get to our office and see us. So I'm going to do a little bit more introductions of all the rest of our staff. And that way you can meet some of our staff and have them have a chance to say a few things. So way you have a friendly face and you know somebody already on campus who's here to support you. And that way when you come to the office, you're not sure who's who. You kind of have a good idea of who's around. So first I want to start with my boss, Joyce. And she's the project director for Student Support Services. She has been a high school counselor in the K through 12 system and academic counselor for the Student Support Services program. She has her PhD, so it's Dr. Joyce, in Urban Issues and Diversity from University of Nebraska-Lincoln here. She has her master's in school counseling from Wayne State and a bachelor's in art and business education from Chardon State College. And associates in fashion merchandising from Southeast Community College in Lincoln. So she's from Ainsworth, Nebraska, where she began her educational journey as a first-generation low-income student. Her personal experiences have influenced her career to focus on helping scholars achieve their academic career and personal social goals. And she's always available to contact to learn how Student Support Services can assist you with the quest of excellence in the college and beyond. So Joyce, if you want to say a few things and say hi to everyone, feel free.
Well, I'd like to echo Brian and TJ in welcoming everyone today. It's great to see all of you. I know some of you I've met in the intake interviews, and for those of you that I haven't met, it's exciting to have you join us today. I also wanted to introduce, I think we'll call him, sometimes he's an accomplice. This is Neo, the therapy dog in the center, and if you come by, he might try to engage you in a game of football or tag or something like that. But he's also there to provide a lot of comfort. He worked with me at the high school level and working with students. And so if you're feeling a little stressed about finals or just having a bad day, you can come, and Neo is here usually 2 or 3 days a week, and he enjoys working with students. And so as Brian mentioned, I'm going to be here every day in the office directly. So you're always welcome to stop by, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you in person. So thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Joyce. I appreciate that. And Neo is fun to, I've already played football with him multiple times today. So, so next on our staff, we have Dr. Colette Yellowrow, originally from Winnebago, the Indian Reservation in Nebraska. Yet she is enrolled a member of the Northern Cheyenne Tribe in Montana. She's an academic retention specialist for the Student Support Services program. She's the one that handles the ALEC 102 interpersonal skills for leadership class. Her work lies primarily with first-gen low-income or disabled college students. And she's worked for many years at the university and holds a PhD from the Teaching, Learning, and Teacher Education Department in the College of Education and Human Sciences here at UNL. She is an active community member who is committed to social justice and alleviating poverty. In turn, she devotes a lot of time to multicultural issues in the city of Lincoln. Currently serves on the Chancellor's Commission on the Status of People of Color at the Nebraska and the Mayor's Multicultural Advisory Committee for the city of Lincoln. When she's not at work, she has the privilege of having two sons, Chase and Mason. So I want to give it a little shout out to Dr. Colette Yellowrobe, if you want to come on and say a few things.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So nice to meet everyone. I'm going to keep echoing. It's welcome here on campus. It's so nice to meet all of you, see you virtually at least. And for those that I saw before doing our intake interviews, let's see, I'm trying to think. I was probably accountability and accomplice. It depended on the day of the week, I think. I was the student college that was studying on Friday night, and that's still a habit that I have to this day. So my big message would be, don't be afraid to ask any questions. There's no such thing as like a bad question per se. And I will be up here most days, but I do teach on East Campus. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I may not always be around midday time. And my info is there, so just let me know if you need anything. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you very much, Colette. I appreciate that. So moving forward, we're going to go ahead and we have Mariana Burks, originally from Louisiana, graduated from University of Nebraska-Lincoln with both an undergraduate and master's degree in biology. After obtaining the master's and conducting research for 11 years at the university, she transitioned into instruction with experience in teaching human anatomy, Biology 101, which is a general biology class, and Life 120 Fundamentals of Biology. She serves as both the science specialist and instructor of biology within our program. And she has her husband, Jay, and have 5 children, Isis, Ada, Ivan, Arya, and Elia. I hope I got that all right. So Mariana, feel free to go ahead and share.
Thanks, Brian. It is a tongue twister. Don't worry, I call each one of them by a different name every day. So Isla might be Aria for one day. So there you go. Welcome, everyone. Many of you, I have actually had the wonderful pleasure of hunting down all summer so that I could actually conduct that intake interview with you. So thank you for your patience and follow through with that. I do actually teach the biology courses for our TRIO scholars, and I have completed my 6th year in servicing you all as students. I've also mentioned to you about the opportunities that I want to align you with for undergraduate research. You don't have to be in the sciences per se to actually want to obtain some type of undergraduate research opportunity. My goal is to make sure that we open all doors for you so that you have all of the experiences that you may not realize that are there for your success as well as your own professional goals. We are really excited about the fact that we have a new renovated space for you all to actually utilize, especially for those who have chosen to actually be on campus. Those doors will be open to you from 8 to about 6, I believe, because they're going to extend the tutor hours for you. I myself have actually asked for accommodations to work remotely just because of the situation with COVID, and my children will also be learning remotely as well. But I am here for you all as students. We will have an actual device set up for you all so that if you want to Zoom in for office hours, but that you always can contact me by email, and we can actually schedule anything that you need in regards to science related or just even program related information. So thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much, Mariana. Appreciate that. Next on our staff, we have Morgan, and his life included living in several cities in Nebraska before his family moved to Lincoln. He graduated from Lincoln Northeast High School and UNL. Since then, he's lived in various locations outside of Nebraska. And now he's back at UNL to be the mathematics specialist for our office. He teaches the math classes, Math 100A, the intermediate algebra class, Math 101, the college algebra class, and the Math 104 applied calculus. He's also available to tutor any student support services participants in any undergraduate mathematics classes for certain periods of the day. Please stop by and check out his door for a schedule. Right now we don't have any doors in our office, but eventually we'll have some doors. But he's the person also that will check out any calculators and stuff. So go ahead, Morgan, take it away.
I don't know how my sound is working, and since there are several of us in the office right now, I'm getting this, impressive echo effect. We may have caused that feedback loop earlier. I'd just like to say that I lived in Alliance and Beatrice and Kearney and various other places around Nebraska. I wasn't kidding when I said I lived in several cities. I got my doctorate from the University of Michigan, so I've lived in Michigan and Maryland and even England for a while. If you like talking about exotic locations, feel free to stop by my office. But also, I'm quite serious about this. Stop by and check my door for a schedule. If I am in the office, then I am here to help you. So, stop by, and if I'm available, I will try to help whoever is here for as much time as I have. Thank you, Brian. Go ahead and carry on.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much, Morgan. I appreciate that. Next, we have Dr. Stephanie Mitchell as the English instructor for English 150 and 151, and a writing specialist for Student Support Services. She also supervises the Student Support Services Student Affairs Assistantships and Tutoring Program. 13 of her 23-year teaching career has been spent here at UNL. She was born in Nebraska. Stephanie is a UNL graduate. She has an undergraduate degree in journalism and literature, as well as a graduate degrees in creative writing, English, and education. Her current research interests include anti-racist teaching and learning initiatives, and also inclusiveness and equity in humanities curriculum design. Stephanie, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Brian. And welcome. I see some of my names from the intakes that I did over the summer to you, and it's so nice to see faces with the relationships that we kind of forged over Zoom and the telephone and so on. Like Brian said, I am Stephanie, and I've been here a while. I'm the English instructor for Student Support Services, and that entails way more than just teaching English 150 and 151. If you ever have an issue with pretty much anything having to do with a paper, whether it's for an English class or not, you can see me. And I will have a similar setup as Mariana mentioned for my office hours, because I too am working from home, and my children are also remoting into school as well due to the COVID epidemic. So that will not impede, however, how accessible I am. You will have email and so on, and even my phone number. So I welcome all of you guys to just even reach out and introduce yourself if you don't already know me, and certainly find me if you have questions regarding your English classes or any class for that matter that requires writing of any kind.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Stephanie. I appreciate that. All right, so we only have 2 more people introductions left, and then hopefully we'll have our students on, so that we can start with some questions there. But so our next student, our next office member is newer than me, actually. So she's the newest one in our office. She's our graduate assistant, Allison. She grew up in Firth, I think you say that, Nebraska, a town so small it's labeled as a village, if anyone knows where that is. Attended Norris High School, then moved on to UNL for a bachelor's degree in psychology. Currently pursuing her master's degree in higher education administration. And she's working in our office as a tutor coordinator. When she's not on campus, you can find her playing yard games and card games, completing crossword puzzles, or spending time with roommates and friends. Allison, please take it away. Thank you.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. So yes, I'm the tutor coordinator. So if you have any problems with your classes or anything like that, I strongly encourage you to sign up for tutoring. We really can find a tutor for any kind of course. Our main ones are science, math, and writing. We'll get into that, I think, a little bit more later on. But I work in the office from 8 to 1, Monday to Thursday. And then the rest of the time, I'm a student, just like yourselves. So if you need to vent about finals or anything like that, I'm more than happy to talk. But yeah, I'm really excited to work with you guys. Like Brian said, I'm pretty new as well. This is my first week, so we're all in it together.
Thank you very much, Allison. And then last but not least, you have this guy here. I'm originally from Aurora, Illinois. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Stout, which is really close to Minneapolis, actually, but in Wisconsin. I have my bachelor's degree and in vocational rehabilitation is what that's in. I received my master's degree in higher education administration from the University of Kansas. Prior to joining Nebraska, I worked previously at Ball State University and East Carolina University, working in residence life. I'm driven to help you all succeed. I want to be there, help you navigate the university system and use all the resources you can. My partner, Lainey, works at UNL as well. We have 2 dogs, Gwen and Willa, which is our life pretty much. In my spare time, I coach volleyball here in town. I'm looking forward to meeting you all and to go Big Red. I'm excited about that, to join the university has a lot of school spirit. And so that is our staff that we have here in our student support services staff. We do have students who also work in the front as well that you'll be able to meet once you come up here. Right now, they're putting together some goodies for you, some t-shirts. Joyce is supporting the t-shirt right now that she has on. I'll show you. Yeah, Joyce has it on. And then we have some other stuff that we'll be able to give you as well. And so some of our, so just kind of go over some of our services that we offer for you all. So we mentioned we have tutoring. We have individual tutoring appointments that are able to be made. Any questions you have for that? Next week, we're going really in depth in our Trio 30 next Wednesday at 4 p.m. about what it is about tutoring and how you can schedule those things. We'll also probably talk a little bit about maybe some online classes and how you can help prepare for some of those that might be a benefit to you. We have printing services here. You can come and print. I met Jeffrey today and helped him get some stuff printed out. And also we have laptop checkouts available as well. So you're able to get a laptop in case your laptop breaks, you don't have one. You can rent those out on a weekly basis. We have new laptops coming too, about 20 brand new laptops that you're able to check out in case you may need something. Again, we talk about study skills, writing assistance. Once you start getting ready for graduate school, we can start helping you prep for that. And then we also have some counseling services available as well. Some other classes we have. So we'll talk about the courses in a second, but there are smaller classes. So you're not in a class of 100 people. We have a smaller size for that. We talk about a little bit of academic assistance. We have the calculator, laptop checkout. Morgan mentioned the calculators, and I have the laptops here. We work with Career Council, the Career Center, Career Services very closely to help you map out your career and help you with your resume. Again, our goal is to help you through college, but then also be ready to get that job. And so when you go out, you can be successful after college by the things that you learned here and working through our program. We also have options for financial planning. If anyone's ever heard of David Ramsey, we're working on trying to get a course, online course together for you all to be able to learn about financial planning and how to be able to be a better finance person. I'm going to take it too, because I'm not very good at that as well. So I think it's important. Some of the classes we do offer, some of you are enrolled in these, some of you maybe not, but it's important to look at and see. So we have I talked about the Colette, Dr. Colette Yellowrobe teaches interpersonal skills for leadership. We have our Biology 101 and Life 120 General Biology that Mariana Burks teaches. We have all the math classes there. You can see that Morgan will teach, and the English that Stephanie will teach. And I teach a power seminar class, which is kind of like getting adjusted to college and working through some things. And my class is pretty chill, actually. So hopefully you're signed up for that one, and it'll be a good time in there. I do want to pass it over to Joyce. She's going to talk a little bit about kind of like our grant aid scholarship and some of our stipend process and the way that works. And so go ahead and take that away, Joyce.
Thank you, Brian. Our stipend is a way that you can receive some money. So I'm going to show you what that looks like just a second. And so as a junior or senior, you will have been, let's see, participating. Can everybody see that? Where it says the TRIO Scholar Stipend Request application? Is that showing yet?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so as a junior or senior, you can apply for up to $300. And you'll see that some of the uses, like some of our students apply for doing one of the professional exams, such as the GRE or LSAT, if you're interested in law school, or if you're becoming an educator in the K-12 system, taking the Praxis exam. And then for some of our organizations that you might be involved in academically, there might be some fees or some dues for national conferences, such as like business leaders, or like one of the minority pre-health programs, which Mariana is the sponsor for. So that's another way that you can earn that. Sometimes too, we also buy like study guides for students if they're studying for these exams. Also, when the study abroad program returns after COVID-19 allows us to have that back on campus. We've also had students who have applied for the stipend to use toward that program as well. And so as you can see down here, to apply for $100, you can earn 10 points, and below that is different ways that you can earn points. For applying for $200, you will want to have earned by your junior or senior year 20 points. And then for the 300, which is the maximum, that you would want to complete 30 points. So you can get 5 points by coming for a meeting with like a staff member, or with one of the representatives from Career Services or the Health Center's counseling program. Also, you can earn points by participating in the mentoring and advisory board events. You earn the most points by taking a class, because that's a big commitment of time. You can earn points through tutoring, and then also in participating in various activities. And then we may have some things because of COVID-19 that would be virtual events or other special situations. So that's a way that as you're going through your freshman and sophomores years, you can start earning points, continue to earn points, and juniors and seniors then can go ahead and start earning stipend money. So we encourage you to do that. We have a lot of students who have felt that's been a huge benefit for them. So thank you, and I'll return back to Brian.
My computer was not wanting to work right there for a second. It changed up my view on me, which I'm not happy about. This Zoom thing, I'll tell you, it takes a little bit getting used to. All right, so let me go ahead back and share my screen. And we have some we have at least one student I know that is logged on to kind of talk about their experience and ask any questions. So we'll put the spotlight on her, and maybe we might have a few others that join us depending on time. But this is a chance where you get to know a little bit about some student experience, maybe ask some questions as well. And then let me go ahead. All right, perfect. All right, so Bree, if you're on, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, and we can ask you a few questions. Again, if you have other questions for any students or even for us, feel free to share them. We're just kind of go over a little bit and kind of get some experiences and be able to ask any questions to our students and get a firsthand experience from them. So Bree, go ahead. If you can just kind of go over what I have here on the screen, your name, major, hometown, and what is TRIO Student Support Services to you.
Cool. All right. So hi, I'm Bree. I'll be a sophomore. I'm currently majoring in sociology and a minor in music. I am a part of the marching band. I play tenor sax, and I'm also a part of Trio Scholars, and newly a part of the College of Arts and Sciences and Choir Scholars program, which is a new program as well. This semester, they're doing a new mentoring program, so I'll be doing that as well. And this is my first time being a mentor, so it'll be really interesting to see how that works out with everything going on right now. So Trio, oh, and I'm from Omaha. For me, Trios helped, even though I wasn't around like maybe the office all the time, Trios still helped me a lot. I remember before I even came in to Lincoln, I was like freaking out. I had so many questions and I had no idea like who to talk to, because like the only person that was really reaching out was Darwin Archie, who's been like huge to the program. And so he was sending out emails to a bunch of students and stuff, and I had no idea what to do. And so I emailed him, and then he like responded to me right away and like helped calm me down and everything. And so for me, like Trio is definitely a really good safe space. Like it's a good place to like ask questions if you have no idea like who to talk to. It's a good place to get tutoring, hang out, or even like just hang out in like the office space, like de-stress, like get to know new people. That's definitely how I've made a lot of new friends as well. But I mean, yeah, that's about it really.
Awesome. We also have Autumn and Huda on as well. There are some of our student workers in the office, and so if you all want to share as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Autumn Trailer. I'm currently a senior. I'm majoring in political science and Spanish. I'm from Lincoln, and Trio to me is a support system. I was in kind of every program, so ETS, Upper Bound, and then finally Trio Scholars. So I would definitely say Trio has been a support system for me from high school, middle school, and then all the way into college, and hopefully after too. Okay. My name is Huda Mohammed, and my major is nutrition and dietetics and psychology, and I also have a minor in Arabic. My hometown is Lincoln, Nebraska, and what Trio is to me, I would say, I was also in Upper Bound, so I would agree that it has been like a really good support system, and also like the resources that they offer have like
The fire alarm is now going off here in the office. I'm pretty sure it's a test, but I can't really tell. It's gone now. Okay.
Brian, I'm sorry. It was hard to hear Huda and Autumn. I think it's the distance that they're away from the computer. If you could reshare for us, that would be great, because these are our awesome student assistants that have rocked it in terms of helping to put the program office together. So I am most thankful to them. These are the two faces that our program students will likely meet and greet when you come up to the space. They're always there for you, but I'm going to have them reintroduce themselves, because they're very important to what they do at the program office, so that we can hear you. Can we do that again?
I'll try to speak louder. Can you hear me now, everybody? Okay. So yeah, my name is Autumn Trailer. I major in political science and Spanish. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. And like I said, Trio to me is a support system. So I was in all three programs, ETS, Upper Bound, and then now Trio Scholars. And each one has provided me with like a set of people who helped me through high school and now through college. So that's what it is for me too. And my name is Huda Mohammed. My major is psychology and nutrition and dietetics, and my minor is in Arabic. I'm also from Lincoln, Nebraska, and what Trio is to me is also, I would say, a support system. They're really helpful in passing along information that they think like might be beneficial to you, and also they have like a great like source of resources to use.
Thank you for sharing. Is there any, if you have any questions for our students, feel free to place them in the chat. But I'm going to ask the first question just to get things going. So students, if you could talk a little bit about your first week at UNL, if you can remember that. Like, what was it like? What were you feeling? Talk about your experience in that first week, just to kind of give people kind of an understanding of like what it's going to be like in this first week coming up. Anyone can go first. You don't have to all go at once.
Yeah, I can go. So for my first week as a freshman, I'm like trying to think back, like it wasn't actually that hectic at all. I was really much so like a planner, and I like had my schedule printed out and had my clothes set out the day before, ready to go. But I was in the first Huskers program too, and I also was in a learning community. So I don't know if some of you guys are in the dorms, but that really kept me rooted. Just having like that first friend base in your dorms or in whatever organization you're a part of really gave me like friends for the first week and someone to kind of help me through and guide me on campus. So, yeah.
Bree, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I also agree. It wasn't really as scary as I thought it would be. I mean, it was still nerve-wracking, like, nonetheless. It was a lot of, like, I had no idea where I was going or what I was doing. So, like, Google Maps kind of saved my life. I had no idea where I was going on campus. I mean, yeah, it was all right. And especially, like, having a roommate and everything helps a lot, too. You know, like, you get to bounce off each other. And it helped having a roommate that I knew from high school too. So I kind of stayed in my bubble a lot, at least my first year even. But that definitely helps a lot. But yeah, it's definitely not as scary as you think it is, even though our first week is going to look a little different. But yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. If you can also think about your time in your first year here on campus, what is something that you wish you would have known before you came to campus?
For me, well, like in high school, like at least junior year or going into senior year, I was working on being more organized. But yeah, like in high school, you really don't have to study or like be super organized. Like it's normally pretty easy to sort of be on top of things more so than college. So I guess I wish I knew how to study better. I remember probably within the first month, I saw like a study coach or like a success coach or something on campus and like asked about like study skills and stuff so I could learn how to do that because yeah, I never do that. So definitely like learning how to be organized. Like I wish I was more organized, but I definitely set myself up to be more organized last year and this year. So yeah, being organized, like learning how to study. Yeah.
I guess for me, I would say in high school, like I was also like never the type of person who used a planner, and I guess like in college, you could get like lost within like your assignments and stuff, and like keeping up with them. So I guess I wished I like would have known to be like more organized with like events and like assignments and just due dates and stuff.
And I would also add to like the power of networking as well. Just finding people who are in your corner and who are going to give you the resources you need to be successful. And even when you do fail, people who will listen to you. So I think making sure you find like a support system that will be there for you for the years that you're here in college.
Thank you very much for sharing. I need to still scoot in a little bit so we can hear you. So I have a question from, I think, Clara Perez. What is the best dining hall here at UNL? And I want to know that information too, since I'm new.
Yeah, it looks like Joyce and I both agreed that it was Cather. Cather is really nice because it's like one of the newer buildings. But yeah, definitely Cather. But the other ones are still good too. I actually worked at Harper for a little bit, but yeah, definitely Cather.
Yes, Cather is the newest kind of rebuilt dining facility. And they have other areas that students utilize for other functions. I would say that it's pretty nice. But everywhere the food is good, so.
So my dog's name is Willa, and someone asked me if I named it after the dining hall. And I said, I didn't even know the dining hall was named Willa. I just named it my dog Willa from a TV show that I'm not proud to share that I watched. And so, yeah, but yeah, that's an interesting story. Okay, so with dining hall, we got that. The food is good. We enjoy to eat. There's lots of things in the Union as well, a lot of different places, Subway, there's pizza, there's a Steak and Shake there as well, a Chick-fil-A as well, too, I believe. There might be a few others I'm missing. I was there perusing lunch this afternoon there. And so do we have any other questions? Oh yeah, and Mariana does bring up a good point in the chat that there's downtown's pretty close. Chipotle is maybe a 5-minute walk from Canfield, our office. And we have, there's a Panda Express there as well. There's lots of different other places across the city, some more local places too that you can check out. Someone asked, and this was answered, do you have to apply for TRIO every year? No, you don't. Once you've applied, you're in it. You're with us for the next, till you graduate. We are trying to re-energize our program. And we really want to build a community with all of our students. I think that is one of the biggest things that in the past our students didn't feel a part of a community. And we really are trying to focus on making all our students feel connected. We're starting a new, we're going to start a new student organization, a student support TRIO Scholars student group, where students can get involved and actually you all can plan programming, plan events for other students, all those types of things. So really being able to keep in line and kind of build that community and feel a part of something that's important to us as we want to have you all feel part, being part of the TRIO and the campus in general. We do have a question. Does the Subway and stuff, is that included on the meal plan? I don't know the answer to that. So
no,
Bree,
that'll be separate. Anything that is within the union or as a separate franchise, you do have to pay out of pocket for. But there is, if you've linked your actual, any bank account to your actual UNL ID, you can use that as a form of payment in the union. So if you don't have cash, which we typically don't actually have on hand most times, your UNL ID can function as an actual purchase card if you have that linked to an account, which they likely walked you through probably with NSC. So I hope that answers that question for you.
Perfect. While we're still on, where can we see how many dining dollars we have on our end card? Does anyone have that answer? A lot of food questions, which is always good.
I think you can ask like someone at like a C-store or something, like ask to see that. I'm not sure, but I also have to figure that out as well.
Perfect. We can, I'll find out that answer too, and we can email it out in case we didn't get anything. We had another question from Lizzie. How early / late do the buses run? And how that system works, if you want to talk about the buses and your experience if you've used the bus at all.
I want to say from what I've observed, the buses run up until about 9 p.m. It could be as late as 10. But we do have a shuttle between City Campus and East Campus that runs regularly. But I want to say I do believe that cutoff time is close to 10 p.m. We can definitely, once we get the office put back in place, but I'm going to suggest that you actually look for the UNL bus service. So maybe just type it in to your Google Finder, and that should be able to provide you or pull up the actual schedule for how the buses run. I'll actually look for that now and I'll put it in the chat for you.
I will say too, there's like an interactive map on the UNL website and on their app, and it'll show you where each bus is. So depending on where you know your stop is, you can kind of time it and your walking time and things like that. And I found that to be really helpful.
Is there a bus pass or anything like that that the students need to take, or is just having their N card the
N card serves as the you will actually need to obtain a student bus pass. We as faculty and staff, if we are purchasing a parking permit, we get a bus pass that goes with that. But you as a student will actually have to go to the parking office and request one. I'll put the link in the chat for everyone now.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Moving on into some academic things, and if anyone, Allison, also if you want to answer some of these questions, you can. But definitely want to hear from Autumn, Huda, and Bree. If so, Jared asked about classes not entirely being normal this semester, but as someone who struggles taking notes, is it hard to take notes in class in general? And do you have any tips or strategies on how to do that?
It really depends on how you're comfortable taking notes, and the professor too. Like if you're taking notes for a class in person, some like you can take notes on your laptop. Like if you have like really bad handwriting or something, or just prefer doing it on a laptop, you can do that, or like on a notebook. But some professors will go through notes super fast, and it's hard to catch everything. So that's where maybe like a laptop would benefit you, or just like shortening up stuff in your notes. But I mean, most of the times it's not really like any different for me, at least like taking notes. Yeah, if that answers your question.
I would say for me is that like don't write everything down like word for word, and kind of like summarize it in your own words, because like that will also like help you, I feel like, contain the information that is like given in the lectures. So just so like your hand doesn't get tired or anything and you get tired of taking notes. I would also add to like get a highlighter, and I usually like at the end of the class highlight everything that I felt was important, like to take away from each lesson. And then some people you kind of have to find what works for you, but for me, some people use like different notebooks for each course. Like I'll have like a Spanish one, an English one, a math one, just so I know like everything I need for that class is in one, instead of having all mixed up into like one giant notebook.
Yeah, I also do the same thing. I kind of like color coordinate. I like never did that in high school. I found like highlighters in like different colored like text that I'm writing to be super helpful. Yeah, I forget what else I was gonna say. I was gonna say something else on top of that.
One thing to remember about notes is that the whole purpose of them is to study from them. So when Huda said a moment ago that you don't want to write everything you hear down, that's really important, because there could be a time when, if you're really, really efficient, you could essentially transcribe an entire lecture and have like 6 pages of handwritten notes. And that would be impossible really to study from. So it also depends on how your lecture is organized and the professor. Sometimes a professor will begin by sharing with you the outline of the lecture, which will include the key terms and how he or she will move through those terms and definitions and so on. And sometimes they won't. Sometimes a PowerPoint will be made available to you, but only when you actually attend the class. It just really depends on the subject and your professor. But something that I do and that I am a real advocate for is not being afraid to organize your notes in terms of using a graphic organizer. And those get a bad name a lot of times because you think you use them in grade school or what have you. They're really efficient ways to use notes because they're really efficient ways to study. And I've mentioned this to Brian and maybe Joyce about possibly putting together some sort of packet for new students that had some graphic organizers in it that would be organized according to what to use for, say, a history class or physics or English or what have you, certain suggestions for that. And we can maybe talk more about that and make that available in the next couple of weeks. And put that on the website and certainly have hard copies available in the office.
On top of that, I also want to say Quizlet. Quizlet comes in handy so much for like vocabulary or even like small bullet point notes, like star thoughts, I guess, that you want to remember. Yeah, definitely use Quizlet. It helps a lot for studying. Yeah.
Do you mind putting that in the chat? What you said there kind of broke up just a little bit, just so we can have that there, so students can see that. Good thoughts there on notes, and I guess also it's going to take some time to get used to. I think that's kind of been said, but just know that when you first get in there, it's not going to be like high school. It's going to be a little bit different transition, and like even when you're online, it might be a little tricky to kind of be able to pay attention via Zoom and then also type, depending on our, just kind of, you got to know your strengths and know what's not, where your strengths lie and where they don't lie. And then try to do the best that can benefit you. And that's going to take some practice and some skill work to figure that out. You're just not going to jump in day one and be the best note taker ever, or be the best at X, Y, and Z. It's going to take a few times and take some work to get it done. And yes, utilize our tutors. They'll be able to help you as well and give you some tips and strategies, because they were in your shoes when they first started as well. And so that now they're there to be helpful for you, and it's free, right? A lot of our stuff is free. So remember those things. Free is always good when doing those types of things. We had a quick question about parking. Make sure you're parking in the right zones. Pay attention to those lots. You will get tickets. I won't ask any of our students if they got tickets yet before, but if you want to share about your parking experiences, you're more than welcome to.
Brian, even professional staff still get tickets at the university. So if you are not in, even faculty, depending upon certain designated spaces, they will ticket you if you are not in the right actual park zone. So it's important to familiarize yourself with what those are. Don't think that a 5-minute, let me just park here real quick and I get in and get out. They waiting. That's how we build so many of our parking garages.
Yes, parking. Yeah, I DoorDashed for a little bit on campus when I was on campus, and I had to deliver to campus, and I was always scared to get a ticket, so I left the car running and ran. So anyways, let's see. Do we have any other questions? We only have a minute left maybe before we go into a breakout session. We have about an hour left total, but I want you to be able to kind of meet some of the students and talk to some of the students yourself and be able to do that. Do you have any last minute questions? No? Okay. Well, so thank you all for sticking on here. So So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and create breakout rooms. We have probably about 20 people here. So I'm going to create probably 6 breakout rooms. I have 24. So that would give about 4 to 5 people in each room. And so what's going to happen is it's going to, if anyone's ever done this before, once I create the rooms, it's going to create a room and it's going to ask you to assign it. It's totally random. You're going to just meet with a bunch of random people and you're going to be able to just kind of talk. And I have a few questions for you. So what you're going to do is just kind of like what we just did there. We're going to, you're going to talk about your name, your major, why did you choose UNL? What are you looking forward to? You can ask them like just kind of any questions that you might have, like if you have a secret talent or you have something, you know, that's pretty cool that happened to you. Any types of things like that. Just to get to know some people. It might be, you know, I always say embrace the awkwardness. It's going to be a little awkward. I'll be honest. It's via Zoom. And you're going to be talking to people you've never met before. And so it's going to be a little awkward, but embrace that awkwardness and get a chance to meet someone. So when you are on campus and you see them and you're like, oh, I remember you from that awkward conversation we had on our orientation day. And so that's going to be a time for you to actually know some people and get connected. And that's what we want for you to do that. I'm not saying you have to be best friends with these people, but at least you know someone and you're connected with them. And you can reach out if you know someone that may like someone like, you know, I'm a big Lions fan, I'm a Detroit Lions fan. Maybe you can talk about some sports and like, hey, since there's not much sports happening this fall, you can talk a little bit about that and how we're going to get through that. And we can have some fake football parties where we can watch old football games or something like that. I don't know, some stuff like that, right? And this is a chance for you to do those things. So I'm going to start creating the rooms. It's going to ask you to accept that. There shouldn't be anyone in this. And then I will, at 3:30, I'll bring everyone back in for our last 30 minutes. So again, you have about 25 minutes to do that. And then we'll take a quick little, you can take a quick little break too, if you need to, but about 3:30, we'll get going and we'll do all those things. So once I click this, you won't see anybody anymore. So awesome. We'll see you back in 30. Perfect.